So whilst this one like just hydrates the last bit of compacted soil in there so that I can remove it easier, I'm gonna make my mix in here. Plant Wars, Episode 3, A New Hope for the Substrate. It is time of botanical unrest. A young Nepenthes battles the lingering grip of an overcompacted substrate, stubbornly attached to its roots. Meanwhile, a resourceful gardener assembles a new substrate blend, combining knowledge, patience, and far too many ingredients. And look what I found here. This was for sure like probably in the nursery, a pot broke and fell in there, and it was trapped in the soil, I don't know, since years probably. So I'm adding like 40% of this hydrated sphagnum moss approximately. I'm just gonna add all of this here, and then I'm gonna add in the other components. Alright, and now I'm adding around 40% more of orchid bark. I'm using mainly this thin orchid bark, and then I'm gonna be adding a bit of the thicker orchid bark. This one is a thicker orchid bark. You can see the difference is quite notable. Okay, and now we're adding a tiny bit of pumice. It's my first time using pumice. I normally use perlite, but I think this one is better because it doesn't float. Lastly, I'm adding in some carnivorous potting mix, and I'm just gonna mix everything well and hope my Nepenthes enjoys this mixture more. Alright, just making sure everything is well mixed in here. This is the strangest soil mix I've ever made. It seems more like a sponge than like soil, but I mean, guess it's an epiphytic plant. It doesn't really grow in soil, so makes sense. And this is the status of the Nepenthes after pruning all of the dead leaves, rinsing, cleaning a bit the roots and everything. And I think the roots are actually quite healthy. You see they're yellow and firm. They didn't smell bad. And the tops are still looking alive. So I think for sure she will be saved. She will look bad for a while. She's even making here a new tiny offshoot. So I think she will be perfectly fine. I think maybe she just dried out a bit too much. The soil compacted a bit on her, and also I have thrips in like practically all of my plants, and I also saw a few in here. So I think just the poor thing had a few combined factors against her. And that's sort of it. I can make this into a hanging pot so she can be on a window further away from a heater. And I hope she's gonna recover. It's one of my favorite plants. I was really sad to find it like this the other day. Anyway, I think she'll do fine. Alright, that's all for today. Bye!